What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be going over a great quarterback lower body workout split with the exact sets, reps, and examples of each exercise that you can do on a weekly basis. Let's get started with this video. But before we get rolling, fellas, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity for quarterbacks this off-season. We are traveling out to 9 more states across the U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver camps. So if you guys want to come out to one of our off-season training camps, check out that very first link in the description below. Next up on our camp tour, we are going to be coming out to St. Louis, Missouri. Then we'll be heading out to Honolulu, Hawaii, Boston, Massachusetts, Cleveland, Ohio, Austin, Texas, Newark, New Jersey, Seattle, Washington, Denver, Colorado, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to any one of those cities and would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches 2 whole days, 8 hours total over the course of a weekend, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you out there, fellas. Let's get back to this video. Alright guys, so how this video is going to play out is I'm going to give you guys an exercise with the sets and reps to do, but I'm also going to explain how this exercise is going to help you as a quarterback on the field. So the first exercise of our workout split is going to be a barbell back squat. So squat is super important for quarterbacks. Now again, if you're on the younger side of things and you don't have a barbell, you could do this with dumbbells, you could do this body weight if you're on the younger side of things or beginner side of things. You don't need a barbell, but barbell back squat is how we're going to start out this split. Now for quarterbacks, where does all of your arm strength come from? Your arm strength, velocity on throws, that comes from your hips, your legs, and your core. Now, a lot of people always talk about the hips. We want to be rotational, want to have rotational force, I want to generate torque, but if your base is flawed, you are not going to be able to set yourself up to rotate with your hips, right? So the mistake a lot of quarterbacks will make is like they'll get back into a drop. I'll try to get to a spot where you guys can see. They'll get back into a drop, they'll plant to throw, but their back knee is like caved inward, right? So when your knee is caved inward, all of your weight is forward and you physically can't generate any power from your hips. You're not able to sit back and be able to transfer and rotate through. So squats is a great way to strengthen your back leg to get you into that position. Like if I'm dropping back, I don't want to be that guy that lands and my base is super wide, I bend down, my butt doesn't bend down because I'm not able to generate power from there. I want to be the guy that hits the top of my drop, I sit down, shin is straight, my butt's in a powerful position to where I can transfer weight and get my hips to rotate through. So that's why barbell back squat is a great exercise for that. So all you're going to do, bar on your back, and you're just simply going to be doing just regular squats like you've seen probably people do a million times. Now, I suggest for quarterbacks specifically, to not necessarily go super far below parallel. Now, a lot of people in the weightlifting community will say, well, oh, you have to go below parallel, you have to get your butt below your knees. But as a quarterback, are you ever in a position where your butt is below your knees? No. For a receiver, that might be a different scenario because they have to drop into a break, right? But for quarterbacks, chances are you probably never break that parallel position. So that's kind of where I want you to get to. So parallel, work on strengthening your legs. On the squat, don't let those knees cave in. Try to keep those knees pushed out and sit your butt down, keeping your chest up. Now, another thing, sets and reps. I would suggest, because as a quarterback, we're obviously trying to be explosive, right? When we go to throw, whether we're throwing deep or whether we're throwing a quick slant over the middle, we want to try to be explosive, right? So with my sets and reps, I don't want to put lightweight on there. If you're a younger guy, beginner guy, it's a different story. If you're on like the high school side of things, what I would recommend is maybe staying in that 5 to 8 rep range. We're focused on being explosive, focused on being powerful, because when I go to throw, that's exactly how I have to be. I have to be explosive and powerful from my lower half, so I need to activate that with this exercise. So barbell back squat is the first exercise of this workout split. Alright guys, this next exercise is going to be like a kettlebell or dumbbell, like single leg squat, I guess, if you will, okay? Or some people call this a pistol squat, and we could do it to a bench. I probably don't recommend going all the way, like without a bench and going all the way down, just because I don't see any benefit of that athletically for us, but I'll explain this exercise. Reps and sets that you would want to do on this, I would suggest probably 4 sets on each leg of 8 reps, but we were trying to work on my stability at the top of my drop and my base in the pocket with this exercise, and that's what all of these leg exercises are going to work on. So remember we talked about it at the top of the drop. You never want to be that quarterback that drops back and he's got that knee caved in, his weight is shifted forward, he doesn't have any weight onto his backside. And then a lot of guys lack the strength in their hamstring, their glutes, their quads to be able to sit back, get to the top of the drop, and have their weight underneath their frame in a powerful position where they drop their butt down. So this exercise helps with that. It helps you preventing that knee caving in. So what you're going to do, you grab a dumbbell, if you have a kettlebell, if you want to do this body weight too, that is completely fine. And you have to do this on both legs. Don't be that guy that only does it on their throwing side because you want to be a balanced athlete, right? So what you're going to do, you can hold this here in your chest. On single leg, you're going to squat down to the bench and sit. Make sure my knee stays straight. I'm not caving in. And then you're going to pop up, fighting that urge to have that knee cave. And you sit back again and pop back up. Fight the urge to have the knee cave inward. That's the most important thing. And I would try to stay in that 4-set, 8-rep range on each leg with this. All right, guys, so this next exercise is going to be a little bit of kind of like a stability exercise, I guess you can say, that has to do with your lower body. And this is where a lot of quarterbacks struggle in terms of their foot strike at the top of their drop, because we're really trying to focus on getting my base into a strong position that will allow my hips and my core to rotate. Because like when you work legs as a quarterback, like you're obviously working for performance. You're not working to have your legs look good or have your legs look big. You're working so it translates to on-field play. Arm strength comes from two things, honestly. It comes from your ability to generate power because of the strength in your core, your hips, and your legs, right? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is your throwing mechanics. But you can't have one without the other. You can't have horrible throwing mechanics, but be super bulked out and strong and then expect to throw the ball at your max distance. Yeah, you might be able to throw this thing all arm, but you're not using your legs and your hips correctly. Now, number two, you could have great mechanics, but if you're weak, you're eventually going to be capped out. If you're skin and bones, but you have a great throwing motion, you'll get some velocity, you'll get some distance on the ball because you see it all the time, but I feel like that's like you're going to be capped out. Your potential is capped if you're not doing these types of things. So a lot of times guys struggle at the top of the drop to be able to get their weight back because they struggle being able to absorb force onto this back leg. You know, they drop at a fast speed, especially younger guys, and this is a great exercise for younger guys. But they'll drop back, they'll go super fast and they try to throw, but they can't absorb the force onto their back leg getting to this position at a quick speed. Like they'll take a hitch and they just physically don't have the stability on their back leg. So this exercise is going to help with that. So I call this like a box fall or a bench fall, if you will. But you're essentially, this is just working on you having some balance and stability while absorbing force at the top of your drop. So all you're going to do is you're going to stand on top of a bench or a box. You're going to fall off the box and balance on one foot. Now here's the deal. Do not strike the ground on your heel. If you strike the ground on your heel, this exercise is going to hurt. It is not going to feel good. You'll feel pain going up through your back. Focus on being on the ball of your foot and the middle arch of your foot. Okay, that is where we want to be on this. But it's working on ankle stability, knee stability, and overall leg strength and stability. So you're going to fall off here on one foot and try to stick the landing. So when you land and stick the landing, guess what? That's the same type of landing that we need at the top of a drop, getting my weight back and putting myself in a good position to drive and generate power. So these box falls, I would add this to your routine, and I would say maybe about 4 sets of, I would say, 8 to 10 reps working on that stability on each side. All right, guys, so this next exercise will be a good kind of like finisher or add-on, maybe like a superset to your workout just to work on your overall explosiveness. Also helps with power from your legs and power from your hips. So these are going to be called medicine ball slams. So when we go to throw, normally is that, like let's say I'm trying to rip like a post over the middle or like a quick seam. Let's say there's one high safety, I'm looking off the safety, I come back and I'm trying to rip this thing over the middle, right? Now, when you do that, is that an all-out effort movement? Like, are you trying to exert as much force as you can, or are you taking things slow and just shooting through? It's an all-out effort movement. You're trying to shoot that ball over the middle. So when you do an all-out effort movement, and you see it all the time, you know, whether it's like the Elite 11 guys, you hear it on TV, they talk about quarterbacks who have that like twitch, right? So we have to do exercises in the gym that are going to help us emphasize that twitch, that fast twitch muscle fiber. But there are exercises that we can do that are safe, obviously for the quarterback position, but also can work on the exact like muscle groups that you're going to have to exert when throwing a pass. So that's what this exercise is for. So literally what you're going to do, you get a medicine ball. I would recommend maybe staying in the 6 to 10 rep range on this, maybe 4 to 5 sets. All you were doing is you're picking that medicine ball up off the ground. You're sitting your butt down, chest is staying up. You're going to pick it up above your head and slam and shoot down with your hips. Sit your butt down as hard as you can. So it's exerting that fast twitch. You're exploding, which is exactly how we have to be on a throw. So you pick it up, slam above your head, and then shoot that thing down to work on that explosive fast twitch, which is what we need on every single throw. So again, I would say about 4 to 5 sets, 6 to 10 reps. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like to come out and train with us for 2 whole days in 9 different cities this off-season, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you out to one of our off-season training camps. I'll see you guys next time.